don't know exactly how to establish that.
Well, the problem
you would know more about that than I would.
Well, the problem is they tried to, again, appoint Henry Kissinger, and they called him independent. It was like appointing one of Janet Reno's deputies to investigate Waco and calling it independent. What would be independent? Maybe just randomly pick 20 engineers or something and draft them for a committee and then make sure no one tried to intimidate the witnesses? I mean, maybe just a jury of the peers.
What if we use, like, retired political foreign nationals? What if we use experts that don't have any ties whatsoever to this administration?
Well, Michael Meacher, number 3 in the Blair government, says that he believes the government may be behind it. And then we have Andres von Bülow, the former German defense minister, saying the same thing. And a bunch of other Russian and other foreign leaders are saying the same thing. Over 80% of the French public in major polls say our government did it. So, boy, if we got foreigners to do it, I think they come to the same conclusion we have.
Right. But I'm just saying, as far as people that don't have a stake or don't have an interest or aren't controlled.
Oh, I agree with you. I'm just saying that they would come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in the court of public opinion, I would say that people aren't buying the official story.
No, they're not. They're not. And I would place myself in that court.
What about PNAC, Project for New American Century? Dick Cheney pens a piece in September 2000 titled Rebuilding America's Defenses, and he says we need a Pearl Harbor event to catalyze the American people to invade the Middle East. We need to have a terror attack on the order of Pearl Harbor. And then Brzezinski Brzezinski goes further. He says we need a helpful Pearl Harbor event.
Yeah. Coincidence? We think not. No, it's. I think again, it's emblematic of the arrogance of this administration. Even just that video that was released last week, I believe, the interview prior to Katrina, and I mean, it's not like there's. Again, supposition. It's documented quotes on videotape. And the White House comes out and says, well, you can't really look to that as any, clear-cut example of what we knew.
Yeah, FEMA said it's going to probably destroy the city. The Houston Chronicle reported that. Times-Picayune Unit reported it. Everybody knew. And then Bush goes off on vacation.
Yeah. No, it is a very arrogant administration.
Well, what about them today? Mr. Sheen saying that Iraq's better off and everything's going great.
Yeah, I don't know that they're talking about the same Iraq that you and I are observing.
I agree with you. We'll be right back. But I was talking to him yesterday, and he talked about some of the folks there where he works and a story that one of the crew told him. And it meshes with this article out of Night Rider today. Pentagon hired contractors to advise on collecting information on churches, mosques, and other U.S. sites spying on American citizens. Here's another one. Washington Post, advanced workers for Bush impersonated reporters. They're all over the place posing as reporters, spying on people, and advanced teams doing that. And they just do this all over the place. Charlie, your take on that?
Well, yeah, there's a young guy this young kid at work, he's from Nigeria, and he's in the production department, and he sort of overheard a conversation. I was talking about the events of 9/11 and this and that, and he said, it was interesting because at the time he was attending George Washington University in downtown D.C., and he said the day after the event that federal teams of what they were described as trauma counselors came to his school, came to his college, came into the classrooms, and basically told them, you're all in shock. What we've seen is unlike anything we've ever witnessed. We understand that in moments like this, that your memory, your eyes will play tricks on you in the future. So if anybody's questioning, what we're telling you has happened, do not believe what you think you know about yesterday. Basically telling them that here's the story, follow it, have a good day.
I have questions about the Pentagon, so do you. Why did they grab hundreds of surveillance camera tapes and declare national security? Why won't they just show us the footage of what happened?
Show us this incredible maneuvering. Just show it to us. Just show us, how this particular plane pulled off these maneuvers. What was it, a 270-degree turn at 500 miles an hour, descending 7,000 feet in 2.5 minutes? skimming across the treetops the last 500 meters,
you can't
4 feet off the ground.
I have talked to pilots who've flown that very aircraft, that very type, and they say that at 500 and something miles an hour, you cannot fly that low to the ground.
Yeah, no, if that happened and there are that many cameras on it, I understand in the interest of national security that maybe not release the Pentagon cameras, but what about the Sheraton? What about the gas station? What about the Department of Transportation freeway cam? What about all these shots that had this thing perfectly documented? Instead, they put out 5 frames that they claim not to have authorized, correct?
And it doesn't look like a passenger liner. It looks like some type of small white aircraft or drone.
It's really suspicious. And then if you look in the lower left-hand corner at the date stamp, it's September 12th. It's just...
As usual, nothing they say fits. Nothing at any point. Everything they say turns out to be a fraud.
Yeah, but the whole thing about, the plane disintegrated and this and that. Now, I don't know what a Boeing, what that jet is going to do into a, reinforced limestone facade.
But it did disappear like the Wicked Witch when water hit her. It just all went into a 14-foot hole.
Exactly. But this whole thing about, even if you just take the one statement about the wings folding up, it seems like at that impact velocity, everything is still going the same speed.
You know what, Mr. Sheen, Charlie Sheen, we've got to get you back up in the near future, and of course you and I are going to be working on something in the near future, and I'm really honored to be collaborating with you, and I want to thank you for joining us. Closing comments in the last 30 seconds.
Last 30 seconds, it is up to us to reveal the truth. It is up to us because we owe it to the families. We owe it to the victims. We owe it to everybody whose life was drastically altered, horrifically, that day and forever. We owe it to them.
We do, Mr. Sheen.
To uncover what happened.
Yes, sir. Godspeed. You got a lot of courage. Thank you for joining us.